Creighton coach Gregg McDermott joins us on the Eye on College Basketball podcast. It's great to see you. How have you been?
Everything's good.
Yeah.
It's go time, and you come in here for this event, and it's real. It's right around the corner. Here we go. So, but I've enjoyed my team. We've got a lot of work to do, but that's part of the process.
I give you a snapshot evaluation of where your team is here on October 23rd, and you reflect on some of your teams over the past half decade. You're on a great run. I mean, this is really the best sustained success the program's ever had. With how things are progressing at this point in the preseason, are you about where you've been in recent years? A little ahead, a little behind?
I think a little behind from where we were last year. Last year, Ashworth was the only new piece. This year, you got Pop and Jemiah and some freshmen that we're trying to get ready. But that's part of it. You understand that. But we played Iowa State, and we got some really good things from that scrimmage against a great team. And then we're going to tee it up against Purdue on Saturday in a charity exhibition. And, more film to learn, more film to grow from to get us ready for what's going to be a very daunting non-conference schedule.
How much do you truly learn from these exhibitions and scrimmages in your personal experience? Maybe they can be very, very insightful. Maybe you get 6 weeks into the season, you go back and you're like, well, I don't even know what that meant. I'm just curious from your perspective how much a coach and a team can collectively grow from seeing different bodies and not practicing against each other.
Forever, I've played one close scrimmage and then a Division II kind of season kickoff, put the uniform on for the first time. This is the first time we've done the charity exhibition on top of the close scrimmage. And I think you learn a lot, Matt. I really do. You put guys out there in situations, things that you think you see in practice, and you try to tell your guys, like, this isn't good enough, it's not going to cut it, or this will work and this won't. And now you play against somebody else and you're exposed, and now you go watch that film and the guys take a little different approach to it. So I really like it. And, Saturday we get out in front of the crowd for the first time to play the team that's picked to win the Big Ten. So it'll be great for us. We'll throw some young guys out there, put them in a situation where it doesn't count, but they can learn a lot from it.
What is Ryan Kalkbrenner, who's the preseason Big East Player of the Year, a reigning three-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year? If he wins it again, he'll actually tie Patrick Ewing's mark. He's the only other player that's done that. I've been told that he's made some really nice developments in the offseason, and particularly, I guess, on the offensive end. Should fans expect to see him take a truly yet another jump in his all-around game?
Yeah, we talked about it in the spring when he was making the decision whether to come back or not. And we had the same conversation with Baylor the year before. If you're going to come back, you have to make a substantial change to your game. Like, you can't look like the same guy that played this last game the year before in the NBA's eyes. And I think what Ryan's done is his upper body strength is much better. His stamina is at an all-time high.
Okay.
And he continues to develop his ability to shoot that three-point shot. So, and then his leadership, Matt, it's incredible. Like, exactly as a teammate what you're going to get from Ryan Kalkbrenner every single day in practice. And it doesn't matter if he's making shots, missing shots. You're going to get the same dude. He's going to support you and celebrate your success and be the first one to rally around you if you're having a tough day.
He's also like an actual grown-up. I mean, he got married over the summer, right? I mean,
he's really a grown-up.
I mean, yeah, he's certainly there's not a lot of guys like him in college basketball there. Can we expound a little bit more on what you just mentioned, though? Because I think for coaches, it's a big thing that might seem small to the outside, and that is your best players every single day. There just isn't a surprise. There isn't this you have to worry about or that you worry about. When you show up in practice, there's just a reliability. And that, Gregg, I have to believe that must filter down for the most part through your locker room and have some real long-term benefits to the team.
No question. He and Stephen Ashworth are off the charts in that regard. And, I've heard said before that a coach can't have a bad practice and the point guard can't have a bad practice. Well, the reality of it is a coach can't have a bad practice, and your team leadership can't have a bad practice. They have to set the tone. They're the ones that can turn an okay day into a salvageable day if we don't quite have it. Their impact on their teammates is so critical. And, last year we had practices that were better than others, but we didn't really have a bad practice last year as I look back. And, so far to this season, they've all been pretty good, and that's a direct result of the leadership in your program.
Who would you anticipate is going to be the guy even if you've got 2 or 3 that are going to be close, like who do you think will be the team's leading scorer? Will Pop Isaacs come in and be that kind of guy? Will it be Kalkbrenner as a default? Ashworth's a really good 3-point shooter, but he can distribute as much as anything else. What is your expectation?
Yeah, we've always tried to spread it around and not be a situation where you stop one guy, you stop what we do. But Steven and Pop are going to have the ball in their hands a lot. Jemai Neal's going to have some big games for us. Our four-man across the board from Jason Green. Mason Miller's coming off an off-season leg injury where he missed 3 or 4 months, so he's kind of getting his stride back. But Isaac Trout's really improved. Jackson McAndrew, the freshman's got a chance to be really good. So, we've got some different pieces, and I think we can score in some different ways. Obviously, we can throw it inside when we need one and let him go to work. But we want that balance in our offense the best we can, and I think you'll see several different high scores during the course of the season.
I think that your program has been able to sustain a high level of performance despite not having a tremendous amount of depth in recent seasons. Do you think that this team has the potential to truly be deeper, or as a way that you coach in your style, because some coaches do believe, some coaches are more insistent on saying it more off the record than on the record. Right. And I get that, but some coaches think I just operate better when I've got like really 7 guys and not even more. Where do you land with this team?
I'd rather have more than that. Last year Fred King had some ongoing knee issues throughout the season that really hampered him, and he's back playing better. So I think we have, that behind Ryan this year. And as good as Francisco Farabella was as a 5th-year senior coming off the bench, we need more. Mm-hmm. And hopefully these games in the preseason are helping some guys prepare for that role. But at the end of the day, it's also when you've got a guy like Pop and Steven running around out there, it's hard to take them off the floor because of what they bring to the table. But I like our freshman class. I like some of the young guys that returned from a year ago. So hopefully our depth is a little better.
All right. Well, Creighton Bluejays, one of the most reliable programs in the Big East. Look forward to watching your guys again, and hopefully another NCAA tournament waiting 2025. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Matt.